Today is the 1 year anniversary of the passing of my mom. And although that sounds weird to talk about that from a gratitude place, I will say that this morning I've been reflecting on all of the good things that my mom taught me and led by example, and the legacy that she left. And so, in speaking of time, it's crazy because I can't believe it's already been a year. It doesn't seem like that time has passed like that, but it does make me really grateful for the legacy that she gave to me, that she also gave to my husband, and that she gave to our kids and then their kids. And so it's been really poignant for me today to look at this and just go, wow, it's crazy. Long after she's gone, the impact she still has. And I think that's just like, that's a deep desire of mine. So I'm super grateful that I had really good leadership in this area, and that somebody led the way, right? And is teaching me. And so that just makes me want to do better. So I'm grateful for that. Anybody else grateful? It's Monday. We should be grateful for something.
Here, I will, since I'm up here with my Vikings guy. He's grateful that the Vikings are playing today.
Yes, there he is. Look at you gotta love his eternal commitment to the Vikings. I love everything about it.
That's
Bleeds purple.
Let's go. Yeah, I do think after what Kimberly said, I would like to say something more profound, but I did get to spend 3 days in Philadelphia with my brothers, enjoying Eagles football kickoff and a lot of good beer. It was good to get away and have some family time and not think about business. And came home sick, but that's okay. It was worth getting away and having some fun.
That's awesome. Congratulations. So good. Anybody else? I never want to cut this short because I always feel like if you have something in you that you want to get out, now's your time. Okay, I'm giving you the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we're going to jump. Super grateful for you guys today. Thanks for coming to Lions and Legends. I love the weekly roar because every week it's, I don't know if you figured this out, but every week it's a different speaker. And most of the time it's not me. And I'm grateful for that also, but I'm grateful because I learn something every single week that we're connected without fail. I mean, honestly, without fail. And everything that I feel like that we walk through on Weekly Roar is something that's actually really pertinent and relevant to your business. So I'm thankful that you're here. I'm thankful that you jump in and learn and contribute. I think that's really important too, is this is not just a one-way dissertation. This is a community effort. That's the whole point of this. So really grateful for you guys. Happy to see your lovely faces today. I'm going to give, before we pass this off today, actually, I'll give you a little heads up. You guys are going to need to get pen and paper out. This is recorded. It will be put in the Lions and Legends Facebook page. If you're not part of that and you want to be part of that, absolutely join. It's not an automatic. We vet people, not because we're excluding people, except people who are trying to sell us crypto and who are spamming and junky like that. So we just keep everybody out. But if you're in real estate, doesn't matter what brokerage you're with, we are happy to include you in the community because that's frankly our belief system. So anyway, this will be recorded. You will need your pens and pads of paper or something that you can scribble notes on really well and really quickly, because there's going to be a lot of really good information that we're going to share today to teach you specifically things that you can do in your business. Here's the step-by-step. This is how it's going to roll out. So I want to teach you, I want you to be aware of that. So if you need to scurry and get some paper and a pen, like the Flintstones used to use, then you have time for that. Mr. Bookspan, before we roll out, is there anything mortgage-wise that you want us to know about?
Well, with all this Fed talk, you're going to have clients that are calling you about interest rates, and not every client should refi actually right now who has a higher rate, but there are a lot who should. And I would really be thinking about your clients specifically who did 2-1 buy downs that may have already had one price up and may be getting a second one. those folks for sure should take advantage of the recent drop that we've had in rates. So if you're looking for a comment with your clients, that's the number one refi we're doing. And then, really everybody of your clients should have some type of strike rate. So one of the things I think that's been really good for us is that, one, at Gill, we've got a rate review program. So all the clients that we've done loans for since we've been here, they get a refi with no lender fees when we do it. But even before that, for 25 years, I've always had a strike rate for all my clients with their annual mortgage reviews for when rates happen. And so I would just be talking to your clients about that. If they should have some strategy in place. And if they don't, because their loan officer doesn't do that kind of thing, I'd love that opportunity to chat with them, because ultimately in the end, they may be fine, but they may not be. And so let's make sure we help them and figure that out. And so if you're looking for a convo to have this week, that would be the one I recommend.
Yeah, I was just going to say, this is the perfect reach out thing, because now you actually do have something to share and say. Right? If you're worried about, I never have the right things to say, here it is.
Yeah, there's lots of fake advertising out there too right now. I just had a client who sent me a loan estimate. It had 4.558 in points, so it was a $25,000 loan fee for actually, ironically, a high rate. But a lot of clients right now are more getting fooled into spending a lot of money to get a lower rate right now, and probably shouldn't too. So I think that's the other thing too. If you do talk to your clients and then a refi, enough about it to double check. And I'm always happy to look at their loan estimate too, just to make sure they're not paying too much right now, because rates will be lower in a year. And so most likely. And so this is a great time to take some chips off the table, save yourself some money, but not at too high of a cost, because you may be doing a second round in the future.
Well, and talking about points, I mean, that's a conversation a lot of agents have never, ever had, because they've never even, some of them don't even know what points are, honestly, because it's not something that's in our recent years of discussion, right? So it is, if the agents don't know that, then it's likely the consumers don't know some of that also. So getting connected with Todd's a good idea, just to get the right picture to know yes or no.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Perfect. Thank you. Andrea, do you have anything that you want to share and tell the world about today from the lawyer's title world?
Always, yes. I just wanted to personally invite all of you guys tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We're going to have a live presentation for Live in Here Zoom. It's in partnership with Tom Ferry. It is going to be the first industry's first homeowner management system. It's going to help you build lasting relationships with your clients. Tomorrow, they're going to show us exactly how to stay connected with all of your customers after the transaction of purchasing their home. So I will drop in the RSVP link, and I hope to see you guys all on there.
Yeah, it's a pretty crazy, powerful tool. It's pretty impressive. So yeah, if you guys can go, I'm going to go to that, because I want to see it so that I fully understand it. Well, at least get a better idea of understanding it, I should say. So I would encourage you just to hop in. And so she'll put that in the chat, so you guys grab that link and register. I think it's tomorrow, 1 o'clock Arizona time. So if you're somewhere else, you're on your own to figure out the time zone, because I stink at that. It's
Kimberly,
crazy.
do you mind if I add just a couple on that real quick?
No, I want you to.
Hey, good morning, everyone. So, yes, we would love it if you guys would attend that Zoom tomorrow, but just one little tidbit on it. You're going to hear it tomorrow. Right now, any of our clients working with us, we can pull you a list of people that are most likely to sell in a particular area, right? We've talked about this a lot of times. Those are used by different AI points, different events, different tags, when they bought, how much they bought for, and everything. What Live in Here can do for you if you have an account is it'll give you the next likely to transact from your customer database. Nothing we've ever had has ever been able to do that. Now, some people from your database may fall into a farm that maybe those statistics come up, but now you can literally look at people that are more with the propensity to transact from just your customer database that is in the Live in Here platform.
So people you already have relationship with, right? This isn't cold calling. This is people who are connected to you on some level. This gives you that kind of insight. And really what that means is you just heighten your presence in their world, right? Because then you get to this place of being top of mind. So I think it's a ridiculously powerful tool. And yeah.
100% join just to find out more.
What did you call it, Andrea? Consumer controlled or something like that?
Well, it's going to be a program where you can stay connected with all of your customers and invite them into this.
But it gives your consumers some integration too, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
They get their own hub. So basically the customers just have their own hub and all their information is in there. The contractors they use, the color paint that's in their living room, the size air filters in their house, the model number for their water refrigerator filter, everything the customer, it benefits the client to have this all in one place for them. So no matter where they're at or what they need, it's all available.
Well, and it allows you, if I'm not mistaken, it allows you to highlight the people that you would recommend, like your preferred people. So it allows you guys to further strengthen these bonds of your support team, right? Your referral base for services. And so you're serving, let's say, a plumber, right? Like you have a good relationship with a plumber. You can highlight their name saying, I think it's a thumbs up you get. A thumbs up. This is, I use Richie the plumber. And
Yep.
so now my clients can see Richie the plumber and they can see Sabrina the plumber and they go, oh, Kim likes Richie, we'll use Richie. Now Kim's relationship with Richie is better. I don't know Sabrina, so sorry, Sabrina. Right. So you get the point. But it allows you to strengthen these bonds to build your whole team, your support team of all of your vendors and people that you prefer working with. So it's a pretty powerful thing. I would highly recommend that you guys log in tomorrow. It's 1 o'clock. So you need to register and then you'll get all of that information. So Andrea put it in the chat for us already. So I'm glad for that. Thank you very much. Anything else you guys want to share beyond that today? Okay. I mean, it's enough. Believe me, it's great. I have a couple of things that I want to share. For those of you who are at Real Broker and are interested in an event on September 24th, it's called the Accelerated Attraction Workshop. And it is an all-day event focusing on how to build your network and practical hands-on stuff, not just fluff. So there's like a workbook to work through if that's of interest to you, or if you're not with Real Broker and you're interested in what that looks like, you are also invited. I think maybe Karen can give you that link in the chat. And then that night after the workshop, there is a Real happy hour, and that's for all Real agents and anybody interested in learning more about Real. So if you guys have people that you want to bring to that, you just register. That part of the event is free. The happy hour, there's not a ticket cost, but they are requiring tickets so they can keep track of the numbers. So we'll throw those sometime today in the thread before we separate. You'll all have that. But yeah, if you're interested in those two things, those are happening this month. Gosh, I think that's the majority of all of the announcements. That's actually all of them. But I wanted to poke a little bit at Richie because Richie did something this past week that is turning out to be pretty beneficial for his business. So will you talk a little bit, Richie, about what you learned at the event that you went to in Texas? Please.
Sure. I signed up for actually a real event that took place here in Dallas, and they are going around. So I don't know if they were already in Phoenix or going to Phoenix. So I can't believe I have this in front of me, but it's called Further Together. And it was not just for real agents. They had other agents there. This was not about attracting. This was learning. And they had multiple different speakers. They had a group of brokers together, individual speakers, realtors from around the country. And it was really good. I mean, I've been doing real estate now for 23 years. I've always gone to a lot of events. People say, isn't that like a waste of time to go? And I emphatically say no. Number one, it's kind of for someone that's been in that long, it's kind of a recap of everything that you did learn in the past. A lot of it you've forgotten. A lot of it is affirming what you already know, which is good because times are changing so quickly, but don't give up on what you learned so far. So it was a lot of really good information. It talked a lot about social media, which was really good. It actually scored you on your personal life and business life, so you can get an idea of where you are and what you need to improve on, which was really good. The first speaker was really good because you know what? I probably made a mission statement years ago, and God knows what it was. But I sat down and created a new one, which is good to share with your sphere of influence in your marketing. It went to from that to, sorry, I wasn't prepared for this one.
That's all right. I just wanted you to kind of give an idea, like you learned some really practical things that are good for your business,
It
right?
was really good. I was very thankful. You talk about gratitude. I was very thankful. I went right over to the people that put this together and said that was really terrific. It really gave you a better idea on how to work your social media via videos, what to do, what not to do. It was just you got to go to these things. You
So it
just
was really awful. Is that what you're saying?
no, far. And I had to travel. Took me an hour and a half to get home, and
Wow.
it was still well worth it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys, I just want the reason I asked, thank you, Richie. I appreciate that. The reason I asked him to share is I think sometimes we get a little numb to events that are happening. And I'm like, oh, it's just another one of these things. We're just going to do the thing. Right. And I think if you go into it with that attitude, that's probably what you're going to get out of it. But I think also if you're looking at your career and the investment by attending some of these things, that small investment, the large impact that it can have. So I just want to really encourage you guys to look around. It doesn't necessarily have to be a real event, but find some ways that you can really tap in and learn some things that maybe it's just going to be different for you and you're going to learn something incredible and you would have had no idea. So I want to
One
encourage you
more
to do
thing.
that. Yes, sir. Please.
And you know, I talked about social media and video, but you know, social media video is really attracting new people. One speaker just focused on your sphere of influence and how to build that business repeat and referral wise, and you get more business that way. So you need to do both.
Yeah, I agree. Excellent. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
Perfect, perfect. Okay, you guys, I am gonna move right along because today is a practical hands-on teaching. Andrea, who is our title representative who helps us, she's our conduit, right? She's in charge of connecting with us and helping us just do better. They have so many tools. Lawyers is, I think, historically and currently, I think one of the strongest title companies that has the most relevant, usable tools for agents. And so I'm happy to partner together. I'm so grateful, honestly, because there's so many great things that I think can be beneficial for each of you. So Andrea is say, I mean, she and I had a conversation, I don't know, maybe about a month ago or so about like what we wanted to bring to Lions and Legends. And one of the things that we heard actually from you guys was I need to know the practical way and how to actually build Facebook ads because we hear a lot of, pay per click stuff and that kind of goes over most of our heads. And some of us know how to do it and some of us don't. And some of us that do know how to do it, we could probably be better. And those that don't should not be intimidated. So Andrea has brought all of her marketing buddies and her smart guru people today. And so Andrea, I'm going to let you introduce your team today and then what you guys are going to talk about and take it away.
Thank you, Kim. Hi, guys. I'm really excited for today's conversation. We're going to dive into a tool that many agents are asking for, which is Facebook ads. And the reality is Facebook continues to be one of the most powerful tools and platforms that we have to build visibility and generate new business create real connections with our buyers and sellers. So if you think about it, almost everybody's on Facebook in some way still today. So what I love about the Facebook ads is the flexibility that they give you as an agent. You can highlight new listings, you can reach potential buyers in a specific neighborhood. This also gives you an opportunity to showcase a success story or a testimonial from a client and your brand. You can also build awareness to keep your name on top of mind for real estate needs, conversations that lead to great relationships. Or if you want to simply use the ads to just create awareness, you have the flexibility to do that too. So that's why it's not just about marketing, it's about building visibility and sparking conversations. Ultimately opening up new doors for you and new opportunities, right? So the best part about this is you don't have to be a tech genius to make this work for yourself and your business. And today we are lucky enough to have Sabrina with us. She's the expert in this space and has been able to help many of our agents learn the basics of Facebook ads and how to get traction without feeling overwhelmed. So, yeah. With that, I'm really excited to introduce Sabrina, who's going to walk us through some strategies, the basics, and some of the results that she's been able to see with some of the agents that she's already working with using Facebook ads to help them grow their business. So, Sabrina, want to take it away?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for the grand intro. I appreciate it. I also noticed we have a couple others on the team on the call today, so you guys feel free to chime in anytime. I know we've all been utilizing this awesome tool that we have that we're excited to share with you guys. So, exactly what both Kim and Andrea are saying, it seems like it's hard to run these ads, running through Meta Business Suite and going through the whole nine. And now, as a real estate agent, you guys know this, you can't decide which cities you want to directly advertise to unless you're doing the loopholes and not classifying it as a real estate ad, and it's a whole mess. If you're trying to target specific areas and you want like a really easy kind of done for you process with the ads, we've actually started handling a lot of the ads for our awesome customers and clients and potential clients, excuse me. And we are helping you guys do these ads from A to Z, from artwork, design, headlines, photos to choose that will perform best. I mean, and I'll show you guys some examples of what's been working, why it's been working. We have case studies at this point because we've been doing this for a little bit of time. So all that said, I'm honestly just going to share my screen with you and walk you through what we do, how we do it, and what it looks like. So let me get my screen going here. Okay. So this is our ad bank, and the ad bank is basically, I could call it Facebook and Instagram ads for dummies because it's that easy. And the nice thing for you guys is that we actually subscribe to a product that helps make this process easier and actually uses AI to generate you more leads. And at Lawyer's Title, we eat that fee. So you're not having to pay any subscription fees, which is nice. You're only paying for the actual money that you would spend on the ads, which is the same cost as you would pay going through the Meta Business Suite or, Instagram's ad bank. So we have a couple of examples to share with you, but I first want to talk about what we've been seeing. So a lot of people right now are using this to advertise what we call stale listings. And this is kind of like the biggest thing right now, right? We're excited that we have listings and then they end up sitting and sitting and sitting. And, nobody's ever wanted to be a buyer's agent more than they do now, right? So what we've noticed is when we've been running ads, people who are advertising luxury properties and land listings are pulling fewer leads. So what that tells us is kind of the market has spoken in that nice middle price point and already built is going to be what's actually attracting people right now. And you'll see some of these examples will fall in line with exactly that. Some of the ads that we have ran get a lot of views, but not as many leads. So those are really good retargeting opportunities. So what that means is if I had, 4,000 views and I only got 3 or 5 leads, I would probably run that one again in the exact same locations I ran it last time and with the exact same artwork, and try to muster up that, now they know who you are, they've seen your listing twice and they viewed it and maybe they liked it, but they didn't hit that button that they want to learn more. So good retargeting opportunities. And then the biggest thing, and why I bolded this, the headline and the pricing are the most important thing. And I don't like to give away price. So some of you guys have seen before, I don't like to put the price because I want people to ask, right? That I believe through and through, but I also think it's important to give them something to work with. So for example, if the property is $699, I'm going to say beautiful home in, Tatum Ranch under 700K, which I think is one of our examples actually that I'll show you that did well. But you're not giving them the price, right? You're able to give them what it is, but still entice them to want to click that button and give you their info so that they could learn more. So I'm going to hit our next slide, which will start showing you some of these examples. You would think the goal with every ad is that you just want to get leads, right? When we get more specific, and we probably heard this before, specific is terrific. I know it's something that one of our bosses says all the time. But when you get really hyper specific on what your goal is, you do get a better outcome. So what we did here, and these look a little plain because I've actually cropped out the agent's info that goes on them too. And this is artwork that's done by our graphic design team. So it's a very hands-off process and very easy for you guys as agents. But our goal here was to market to out-of-state buyers who are in states that we have a lot of migration from. So the way that we get that is by using statistics from moving companies like U-Haul that tell us, okay, the top 10 cities where people are relocating from are El Paso, Texas, Denver, etc. The list goes on and on and on. So we decide, okay, we're going to advertise specifically to these cities and the neighborhoods that people are likely to buy in Arizona from. So every single ad that we have run, for the most part, typically they do the 10-day ads, which are $10 a day. So that's just the ad spend, super easy and manageable, I think, for your business, especially if it gets you results like this. So this one resulted in 15 leads, 3,500 views, which is pretty good. Honestly, it's a little bit above average on the views that we normally see. And we're giving them a little bit here. I don't think we put the price on this one. We told them it's an amazing price. We didn't say a lot. So you're giving them something to work with that makes them think, oh, this might be a good deal. I should click on this and learn more. As soon as somebody clicks that learn more button, you as the agent are getting an email and a text message with that client's contact info. So it's a super good process. I mean, you're able to get in touch with them right away if you choose to. And, like I said, the goal is everything, knowing who you're targeting. So like we did this one for a Paradise Valley listing that the client knew, okay, this buyer is not, just coming from wherever people are migrating in from to move to Arizona, right? This is a high net worth buyer who is probably living in a prestigious area already. And then we can do research from there and say, okay, what are the most where would somebody buy an $8.5 million property from in California or in Arizona, and cater it to them from there. So again, artwork is all done by us, and kind of the whole process is done by us. And we come to you and say, okay, after your 10 days, here's what happened. You got 3,000 views and 18 leads. And it's actually a funny story with this one because the realtor dropped the client as her listing. She dropped the listing. So she walked away with 18 people who are interested in an $8.5 million caliber price point, though, as buyers. So that's still a win. And even if you get in touch with 20% of them, that's a win, I would say, because we know sometimes people are flaky, especially in the leads. So we've done things in state that are just more up north too. We're not just doing the affordable homes or the luxury homes. We've done all kinds of things. So what was cool about this is, you kind of come up with that headline. So here we decided on fruit, trees, cool breeze, and cabin dreams. Something cute and catchy, of course. And then we just give the Spark Notes. We don't want to give them everything about the house. We want them to click on the link to learn more so that you get their info. So we give them exactly what they need. And we decided on marketing to areas of who is likely to have a second home up north, which honestly is a lot of people in Phoenix, right? It's not going to be a lot of out-of-staters that are like, oh, I'm going to buy a snow home in Arizona. But a lot of people here would. So we were strategic about what areas in Arizona that we advertised to, and resulted her in getting 17 leads. Does anyone have any questions about this so far? I'm talking a lot, I know, which is so typical of me, but you guys tell me if there's any questions anytime.
Well, these are really good examples, because I think when you show all three of those, I think everybody's got one type of house or one type of transaction that they could relate to in this. And when you can see that what those results are, I really want to highlight the results. If you look at 3,400 views and 17 leads, a lot of people get really discouraged by that. And I'm looking at that, I'm like, these are bomb diggity numbers, man. Like, this is really good. So if you guys are looking at like, wow, that's a whole bunch of money that I'm spending at $10 a day, which by the way is not a lot of money to spend. But when you're looking at that and you're thinking, I only get 17 leads out of it, think how many of those you could actually convert, right?
Yeah.
If you converted, to your point, if you convert 20%, right? That's three deals. That's three more transactions. And this is a 10-day ad push. So in 10 days, 3,400 views, 17 leads. You close three of those for 10 days worth of that marketing effort. So
Yeah.
I kind of want to boil it down too, so people can see, okay, wow, where are you going to get three qualified leads that you can close on your own? You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. So if people haven't done Facebook ads before, I think that they don't understand that these numbers are really amazing. And so I want to just kind of highlight that.
Yeah, thank you for that. And what's cool about these two, by the way, they're seen. So it's a platform that works with Meta in general. So the way that we do it, they actually go on Instagram and Facebook. You can't differentiate out of the 17 leads, for example, who came from Instagram and who came from Facebook, but it's nice knowing you get double exposure.
Sure.
So it's more for you, right?
Yeah, that's great.
So I thought this one was so cute. It was a manufactured home under $90,000, adorable and affordable. It's one of the earlier on ads that we did, so we were so excited to see how this one did. And we specifically went after retirement communities and resulted her in 23 leads. Now, I know in this case in particular, I know that she walked somebody through all the way to a pre-qual. So, they're real people that these people are getting in touch with, and you're going to have your people, like any lead source, who change their name and change their number and they don't want to be contacted. Sure. But the fact of the matter is, out of the 23, even if you take one to the pre-qual table, that's pretty good. We've also had people tell us stories of leads coming in and they actually are ready to start renting, and so you're able to get in touch with them and nurture that relationship. Maybe next year they're going to buy, right? So in any case, the goal in anything that you guys do is to start real estate conversations. So this is just another one of those avenues. And we have a ton of examples. I mean, I could keep going on this, similar, luxury areas and getting leads and all that good stuff. But you guys know what the goal here is. The goal here is to start real estate conversations. So we are happy to help if you have a stale listing, if you have, maybe you want to do a brand awareness campaign. We've done a couple of those too. And we can even do this to your guys' databases. So like if you gave me a list, they do recommend a minimum of 500 people. But if you gave me and Andrea a list of your database and said, I want to retarget my database, we can do that. The small kind of caveat with that is it should be the email or phone number that you have should be the one that they signed up for Facebook or Instagram with. So it makes things a little bit harder, but I would say, some people have gone for it anyway. And they might not have generated a lead directly from that ad to where we saw it come through, but somebody told them on the street, oh my God, I saw you on Facebook recently. And it's just, again, real estate conversation, brand awareness, or promoting a sale listing. You can do a lot with our platform, and we're happy to walk you through that. So if you guys want to set up a time to learn a little bit more about this, I'm sure there's a ton of questions. It's pretty cut and dry, but there's a lot that goes into the preparation, and lucky for you, we kind of hold your hand through the whole thing. So if you do want to set something up to either learn more, or you have like a listing in mind that you're trying to promote, you can reach out to Andrea. She's super easy to get a hold of, and she'll set something up for us three to discuss what kind of the best campaign would be for you.
That's awesome. And so if an agent, once you get them set up, if they want to run it and manage it, are you going to teach them how to do the ads manager?
So the nice kind of the beauty of it is they actually don't have to use their own ads manager. So the way that we have been running these, and kind of the backstory with us paying for this subscription for this AI powered platform, these are all run on a generic page called Arizona Homes for Sale. So it's not tied to one agent. The profile picture is of Camelback Mountain, and there's no phone number or contact info on the page at all. And we don't post on that page. It's simply for running ads.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So it works really well for retargeting too, because if somebody has been, looking up the phrase Arizona Homes for Sale, our page is one of the things that's going to start populating for them.
Yeah.
So it's very cool. And on the back end, I'm in the back end of it. And then typically if the agent wants an update on like views or like lead count, they get notified of their leads instantly via text and email directly to them. They don't have to wait for me. But I actually usually at the end of the 10 days, I'll send kind of a recap of the amount of views, the audience, because there's a difference between the views and the audience,
Sure.
and then the leads and the cost per lead, and then an Excel sheet with everybody who filled out their information.
So here's one of the things that you guys might not know. You have to, when you're sending and setting up these ads and you're launching them, there's a seasoning period, right? To be able to get that traction for the ad. And so if you are starting at 0 by yourself, that's fine. You can do that, but you're going to have a lot fewer views, a lot fewer leads for a lot longer. It takes you for Facebook to realize, oh, you're going to do this. We should open it up and open it up and open it up. And by virtue of what you guys are doing, you've already paved that way, because you're doing all of these ads for different people that are getting used through that profile. And so Facebook's algorithm is saying, oh gosh, these guys, they're getting engagement. So we're going to keep opening and keep opening and keep opening. So,
Exactly.
For those of you that want to do it on your own, good on you. It's a lot of work and it's hard to get that up. It's not impossible, but this is just such an easy conduit to making this happen for you, that still gives you actually better results, I believe, than what you'll get on your own without you spending all of the time to build that traction. And that's about consistency. It's about getting more exposure and more exposure. But if you're on a page that already has that figured out for you, you are 10x ahead of the game to actually see real results in your first ad, versus if you run it on your own page, it's very unlikely you're going to get any kind of results like that. If you look at your own Facebook pages, how many views are you getting on the random stuff you're posting? 10, 30, 100 maybe? Probably most of us are not getting 3,400 or 2,800 views. And so that is exactly the picture I'm trying to draw for you, so that you know how valuable all of your pre-work has been, Sabrina, for agents. And so guys, if you're not doing anything like that, I would really encourage you to take a look. It's a small investment to give you a good yield. Now, here's the other side. This is a skills-based market, so you better know how to convert them, because getting a bunch of leads, getting a bunch of views to funnel down to a certain number of leads means nothing if you don't know how to take them and incorporate them in your business, and how to convert them, how to build those relationships. So if you need help with that, reach out for that too. We can help you with that. But this is such an easy path. And I used to have a team, and I was in charge of our ads, and it consumed freaking my whole life, because you are constantly having to, tweak everything. And I love that you guys have the subject matter experts on this and are ready to just like pull the trigger. So highly encourage you guys, if you have questions, this is your chance to ask. And then if you want to connect with Andrea, go Richie.
First of all, I love this. All right.
Thank
So
you.
definitely want to talk to you. Two, the leads that you get from these ads, when they're submitting their contact information,
Mhm.
what's the percentage of contact information is correct?
Honestly, so the way that I see them on like the portal on the back end, at first glance, it looks like most of them look really good. And then I'll see kind of like 1 out of 10. I feel like that'll put like Mickey Mouse or, whatever, right? But for the most part, honestly, they look good. The good thing about this platform, because the ads are on Facebook and Instagram, if somebody clicks that learn more button, their info that gets put in as like their submission is actually autofilled based on their profile. So if my name on Facebook is Sabrina Jabbar and my number is 480-658-5020 and my email sabrina21898@gmail, that's going to be automatically populated. So it's so easy for me to just hit next. But some people will go out of their way to delete, their right email and put, don't email me at gmail.com, right?
Uh-huh.
But for the most part, I would say it's like 1 out of 10 are bad for the most part. And I think the reason that is that's a good odd. And I think it's that way because of the fact that Facebook and Instagram auto populates their info. So I don't know if you've ever seen when you've been scrolling those ads that say like they have the link button and it says learn more.
Yeah.
If you've ever clicked on those, you'll see that your info will get automatically populated in there.
And it's getting pulled
Oh, that's
from your
why I get so
individual
many ads
profile.
and emails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You might
Richie,
not. Sorry, go ahead,
we've got
David.
some too, Richie, where the email is Mickey Mouse, but the phone number is correct.
That
Mhm.
But
happens.
whether they're forgetting to backspace over all of it and put in fake information or whatever the reason may be. The good news is if you get 10 leads, I don't care if 9 of them say Mickey Mouse, because the one person that clicked on it that wanted more info and it's valid info,
Yeah.
that goes back to what Kimberly just said, right? How are we going to work them from our end now? How are we going to turn that in to a client?
Right. Good.
Exactly.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Well, and if you think about direct mail, for instance, this is a mammoth blast, and it is like it's a hope and a prayer, right? Like I'm gonna do all of this work, create this ad, send this thing out in the every door direct EDDM, right? And it's a blanket audience too. You have no idea if any of those people are even remotely interested in what you're doing. These ads are targeted, right? So the people who are seeing these ads are people who have been searching for homes or have clicked on somebody else's link about a home. Like that's part of how that algorithm is created or generated, right? So I think I'm hardcore believer in physical mail, right? I think it got oversaturated, then everybody quit using it, and now it's like, geez, you're the only guy who's mailing anything, you have a chance, right? So I think there's something great there, but it's a lot harder, it takes a lot more time, and you're not necessarily targeting an interested audience, where these ads that we're looking at are specifically targeted to people who have said in one way or another, I've raised my hand, I'm interested in buying or selling a house. So just kind of keep that part in mind too. Like even if you are getting terrible, if you get a whole bunch of Mickey Mouses and Donald Ducks, terrific. But call them, and something's going to sift out, right? And that will continue because you're targeting a market of people who have already said I'm interested. And I think we forget that sometimes when we get bad information, right? We're annoyed. It's like, well, I'm going to keep hammering away at Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck because they're the people who raise their hands, right? They've already said I'm interested, even though they don't want to be sold, they're interested. So I think, just putting these people in your database, and Richie, you're great at the drip campaigns and the keeping in connection with people in your database. This is a no-brainer slam dunk as far as I'm concerned. And especially I think for you in Texas, if you're going to decide to get your license there. I know we've been talking about it back and forth, right? Your license in Arizona, you're living in Texas back and forth now. But this is I think, a pretty easy way to start making inroads in a new market. So a new agent should be doing these things. An old agent who's been, they're not old as an age, but they've been in the business a long time and they haven't really pivoted to what this market looks like. This is a really good shot in the arm. So I would highly encourage you guys. I mean, we are very particular about what we bring to this platform. We're very specific about making sure that we're doing things that are actually pretty easy and are actually pretty effective. And so that's why today, that's why Sabrina and Andrea are here today. And David Bellinger, of course, the king. Love that.
And something else I wanted to point out too, I know Shiloh from our team was on the call earlier too. A lot of her realtor clients have taken advantage of this program, and they even say like, I got a lot of views, I got a few leads, but I noticed that I was getting more calls in general about this listing once I did this. And I'm not saying that the ad maybe contributed to that, but what I'm saying is like action breeds action. I'm a big believer in that. And if you're trying to attract eyes to something, sometimes you do have to take the extra step and maybe put that ad out or post that Instagram post, whatever it is, because things come back. It's energy, right? You're putting it out there and it's coming back to you.
Yeah.
We actually just did an ad for a client. I think Sabrina, what was it, 3 or 4 weeks ago? And it was a roll of the dice for us. We hadn't done one like it, but this realtor was targeting a city outside of Arizona because she was seeing some traction for people coming in to look at the type of listings that she works. And I think we ran it for what, 2 weeks or something like that. And I think we got 3 leads and one turned into a referral. So it was targeted to realtors that represent those type of clients moving here, and 3 leads, only 3, but one of them turned into a referral.
Yeah.
Where do I sign up? Like I said, I don't care if it's 30 leads or 1. If that 1 comes to fruition,
Right.
yeah,
That's all you need.
Yeah. And that is all you need, right? And that's
Yeah.
how you start generating that.
So that's another question. So, my whole business is agent referrals, and I target realtors. So this would work for that as well. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
so it worked really well for David's client that we were working with. And what's interesting is we actually, just like with Facebook Meta Business Suite, on this platform that we use, we don't have the ability to say, hey, we're only going after realtors. We can't do that. But in the artwork for the ad, we made it very clear that this was geared and attention to realtors. So even though normal folk probably saw it too, they just ignored it. But the realtors who saw it stopped and said, oh yeah, I do have people moving to Arizona, I want some referral fee.
Yeah.
And they put their info in for her.
It's good.
Yeah.
Super good.
There's a lot of different things you can do with it.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much. Anybody else have any questions before we sign off today? Okay. Oh, Andrew, speak to me.
When the leads come in and they come to us, can we send them directly into our CRMs, or do we have to manually do that?
It's probably going to be more of a manual process because they come to you via email and via text. Or if you wait until after the 10 days are fully up, I always send an Excel sheet with everybody so you can do a mass upload. But I know you probably want to be speedy with putting them in. So you would probably put them in as you get their info coming.
Come on, Andrew, don't be lazy.
No, I'm just trying to think about automation. And I just went through on the setup with Lofty where you have to jump into approval for adding leads and so on and so forth,
Mm-hmm.
and getting their approval for their opt-in as opposed to opt-outs.
Well, I think that if somebody filled out their information on a Facebook and clicked learn more, I feel like that's an opt-in.
It is an opt-in, but Lofty doesn't see it unless they see it happen, right? So if he's just manually inputting stuff, they don't know that it's not part of the DNC or that they're going to be in trouble for mass, emails. So Lofty's funny that actually a lot of the CRMs are funny that way. Because they'll want to send a new email that asks them to opt in. And at that point, people are like, no, I'm not opting in, right? And you're like,
Yeah,
well, but you said yes over here. Now you're saying no over here. So I do understand that perspective. But you know what? If you're hammering away and calling them, even if you're not email dripping on them because of that very reason, texting, emailing, texting, and you can email, but texting and calling is gonna win the relationship race every time over an email. My opinion only. Cool. All right. Well, you guys, thank you so much. Appreciate your time. Andrea and Sabrina, you guys are rock stars. Appreciate the partnership and the friendships that we are building as we're all building our businesses together. And
Oh,
as
I
always,
gotcha.
super happy to see all your faces. I'll see you next week. Have a good week, you guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Thanks, Sabrina.